Flip through my Dephemerember 2023 journal with me and see your comments that made this journal so very special. Then join me as I craft unique fun packaging for my giveaway scrap packs. And don't go anywhere because I'm about to draw the winners. Will you be one of the lucky 3? Let's find out together. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So let's start off with the flip through of my completed Dephemerember 2023 junk journal. Please note that it's not too late to participate in Dephemerember. The playlists will of course remain on YouTube. You can find all the necessary links and information below in the description box. My partner in crime, of course, is my dear friend Luise Heinzel, and this series was about using prompts to create fun ephemera. So I have made a few additions to this journal, nothing major. If you've watched the series and the making of this journal, which is part of the playlist, which is below in the general Dephemerember link, you will remember that I decided from the beginning to make a soft cover. Luise and I started off with a regular hardcover binder, and I choose to alter it to make it into a soft cover, which I am so happy about because, as you can see here, because the covers bend, I don't have the issue of having a gator mouth. So you see here, actually this is quite parallel, and I love that. So you see here the binder, which I just glued into my soft cover. Again, for more details, please see the making of this journal. But if you did run into the problem that you used the binder like we did and you have a gator mouth that you're not happy with, please check out Luise's playlist, which is also linked below, where she shows you how she dealt with that same issue. Actually, I can show you her journal in comparison here. And this is her altered journal. Maybe you've seen the video where I unboxed this gorgeous journal. You can find that video linked in the Dephemerember link below as well. If you know Luise's channel, then you might know that she always makes a German and an English version of her videos, and she actually made 2 journals during Dephemerember, one for her German viewers and one for the English viewers. And this is one of her 2 journals. And as you can see, this is the bound version. She made a completely new spine. She took the original covers, bound in the signatures, added some additional pages, and made a new spine. In her playlist, you can find a video how she's done this. I am still completely amazed at having this here in my hands. It's absolutely incredible. Luise, again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And now I get to have these 2 beautiful journals. And I just wanted to show you in comparison. Also, Luise, because of course you haven't seen this either. Just for size comparison, maybe let's put them back to back. So Luise's is, of course, a lot bigger because first of all, there's more gaps here, and second of all, because she added more pages. So coming back to mine, first of all, I'm going to take this off because it's quite noisy on the glass plate. So the first change I made is, you might remember at the beginning, I tied this charm and this beautiful dragonfly. Was there another one? I think only these onto my journal spine by using embroidery thread. But then when I made the rest of the charm here, which was the friendship bracelet prompt, I decided it's better to add all of the charms on one chain. That way it doesn't get so tangled, and it's a lot easier. Just take it off my ring fastener here from the spine. So this basically is my version of the friendship bracelet, which was the prompt for December 25th. This here is a pocket which was always empty during Dephemerember, and then I decided to add another little Effie in here that I can take out. So we have him here again. And on the back I added one of your comments. This one is by Debbie Grieve 3536. I only know you two from YouTube and I'm crying. Such a great friendship between you two. She, of course, means Louisa and myself. Hold on tight to it forever, girls. We definitely will, Debbie. Thank you so much. And Debbie is referring to the unboxing video where I unboxed Louisa's journal and 2 other amazing gifts. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And then the other thing you probably have already noticed is I added some lace trim here on the front and the back of my cover. And the reason is it wasn't really necessary. I thought about this for a long time, because if I don't have it, I have all these pages sticking out, which of course is not a problem at all. I love that in a junk journal, but somehow I wanted to do this because it gave it a more finished look when everything is kind of like squared off, you know what I mean? So I'm very happy with this addition. So moving on to the inside. So here you can see more of the construction. So this is just glued into a paper bag soft cover spine. So this was the pocket where I have my prompt list. This was a freebie. And by the way, speaking of the freebies, if you're still working on the prompts, please know that all of the freebies will be available. There's no end date to how long those will be available. Even the ones from last year and the year before are still available. So don't rush through it. Enjoy your time. The only goodies that will expire are the ones for our digital kits, which are in our shops. The discount codes will expire by end of January 2024. So I will keep this list out in case I get stuck with which prompt is which. The very first prompt we had was here for the opening, where little Effie provided us with a letter. Again, that letter is a freebie. It will remain available for you, where he said we should make a door. I made one for Louisa. Louisa made one for me. We mailed it to each other and we received a second prompt for December 31st. So you'll see that at the end. So the butterfly here was our official prompt for December 4th, which is a butterfly and 3 torn things. I just love how this one came out. Of course, Effie was the one that gave me the brilliant ideas to attach the butterfly with the antennae. I just love that. And in general, I must say I loved the concept of the binder, even though I really was not a fan at the beginning, although I did understand the advantages of this kind of binding from the beginning. I thought it was a great new experience. I'm sure we'll decide on something else again next year, but I loved having this experience this year. It gave so much flexibility, and it was really great to be able to work on the pages first and then add them to the journal and to be able to switch them around. I did make a change on the back here. Originally, I had stamped directly on the denim. I wasn't very happy with that, so I cut out again this butterfly shape that I had made from a coffee dyed paper. Then I stenciled these circles on it and I added some of your comments. Let me just pick one of these to read to you, because if I read you all the comments that I have in here, we'll be sitting here for days. This is a funny one from Brandy Bell Arts. Oh my, I scared my cat because I laughed way too loudly at your stabbing Effie. Too funny. Love the way it turned out. Never would have thought to do anything like that. Great job as always. So Brandy is referring to, because I didn't realize it in the video while I was doing it. I was fraying the edges of the butterfly here with a pretty big pair of scissors, and Effie was right here and I was actually stabbing him and I didn't even realize it. Oh, maybe I'll read you this one as well. Wendy2557, wow, way to go. I had my doubts many times during this process, and little Effie is such a little trooper. He never stopped smiling even when you were stabbing him. I had my doubts many times during this process. Yes, Wendy, I did too. And the thing is, you just have to keep going even when you have doubts, because if you don't, you'll never know what it could have been. So this, as we can see here, is my creation for Salvage Birds, December 5th. I really adore this, and this was of course a technique that I had seen Louisa do. I just altered it a little bit. Love how these backgrounds turned out. Love how this pocket background turned out. It is a little more effort, but it's so worth it because it just looks so cool. Again, on the back, I have your comments. And there's a funny one here from Peggy Did. This prompt would be what happens when my cat comes in with a bird he caught. LOL. Salvaged birds. Yep, totally get it. And this one is really also cute from D Baby Bear. For some reason now I think of Effie not just as a Dephemerember 2023 mascot, but as every crafter's magical artistic idea bringer. All of us have an Effie or a version of it within us. That is so, so true. I love that you wrote that. This was the prompt, Clocks and Wings, for December 7th. So my idea for this one was to document a dream that little Effie had of his dad. And this is the documentation of Effie's dream that I put on the back here. Selfie in a bubble. Love, love, love the dream team here. Learned a lot with this one, making the mistake with the foam tape around this shaker card. Yeah, so this is actually a shaker card. Very, very fun. Never had made a shaker card before. On the back, I added this pocket with a card. So this is a card that was in Louise's scraps that she sent me. If you're not aware, Louise and I exchanged 50 scraps. And many of you did as well, which made me so happy. That was part of the countdown up to Dephemerember. So we had made a basket, we had exchanged scraps, we had made our journal. So lots of things that happened before Dephemerember actually started this year. And I love the quote here. It says, she realized that she was missing a great deal by being sensible. Just love that. And I added this card made from a scrap that Louisa had sent. Added this butterfly and the quote, don't forget to fly. I also added this butterfly here, which was made using shrink foil or shrinkadinks, as I think it's sometimes called. I made these for the friendship bracelets, so also these butterflies here are made with the shrinkadinks, as well as sweet little Effie here. Added a comment on the back. This one is by Claudia, and I don't know how to say the last name. Cossins. I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. This is so cute. Every morning I make myself a cup of coffee and look at the new videos for Dephemerember. A great me time moment I love a lot. I'm very grateful to you both for this wonderful experience for 3 years in a row. I love it. I did all the prompts, and with a journaling friend, we made prompts for each other for the empty days. My December is very quiet, so I loved this very much. Thanks again. So that's a great idea because, you know, this year, as opposed to the last years, we had videos 4 days a week instead of 7 days a week, but it went through the end of December, and in previous years we stopped on, I think, December 25th, and this year we went to December 31st. So that was a great idea to fill in those days if you had the capacity to work on more prompts than we provided for you to give each other different prompts. This was the pocket that Louisa had sent me, in which she added her scraps to. It is so, so gorgeous. Of course, I had to add it to my journal. And inside here, I added a poem from Effie, which is also a freebie. So if you haven't printed that one out and you enjoyed this very emotional poem where I started to cry, and I would again if I would read it again, which I won't. You can find that also in the freebies. And this poem was part of the friendship bracelet video for December 25th, if you're looking for that. This one here is my least favorite page. I do find Effie very cute. And by the way, I did add one of Louisa's pom-poms here. Actually, it wasn't Louisa, but her Effie that sent me these because I was struggling so much with the pom-poms. Thank you again so much, Louisa. I did squish it down a little bit to make it a little less bulky. So I love this part. I don't love this part up here. I wish I wouldn't have added the Christmas ornament here or even these things. I don't know. I don't like the hand-drawn parts of it, but it is what it is. It's fine. You can't love every single page, I have learned. Oh, by the way, this was, yeah, you've probably seen it. This was Halloween Meets Christmas. And these here were the kintsugi houses. This was probably the prompt that most of you had difficulties with, especially if you didn't know what kintsugi was. And I made some additions to these because of one of the suggestions of one of you viewers. And this was by Mary Beth Schulterman. She said, I love your houses. Maybe add house numbers with yours and Louise's numbers. Sister houses for Dephemerember. I love the envelope idea. So thank you so much, Mary Beth. I took your idea and rolled with it. So this is my house. This is Louise's house. I added our numbers. Mine is 4. Louise is 17. I added the stamp Hello Friend on Louise's. And I added 2 more of the Shrinky Dink Effie versions because this one is the Effie version that Louisa used mostly. This is the one that I used mostly. And I added the B for Barbara and the L for Louisa. And I'm so happy with these additions. Thank you so much for that suggestion, Mary Beth. It makes these so much more special. And of course, inside I have more of your comments. Okay, so I made very simple collages here on the tags that I included inside and added your comments here on the back. I'd like to read this one by Lottie the Journaling Junkie 9314. What a great idea. I have heard of kintsugi, but would never have thought it could be incorporated in such a creative way. I'm now excited about this prompt instead of terrified. Smiley face. Thank you for this creative idea. So the kintsugi technique, which is a Japanese technique used on pottery, highlights the cracks and imperfections of a broken piece of pottery. And so we tried to imitate that process with paper in our journals. And I just love the philosophy of highlighting the parts of us that are broken because they make us who we are. Then, oops, this is falling out. I think I need to re-glue this. So on the backs of these, because these were plain, I added this little bird, which I had stamped and used for the prompt plaid and polka dots, please touch, because I drew the silhouette of this bird and I had this stamped image left over. I just put that on top with a scrap of Louise's to ground him. And then I used this beautiful moth that Louisa had sent me in her scraps. I just sewed through the body and added another scrap that Louisa had sent me by rounding the corners and making a little card out of it. Adding the quote, the impossible is often untried, because I think this is so true, especially for Dephemerember, because when I look at these prompts, a lot of times I thought this is not doable. Like, what is a recycled fairy? What is a mushroom robot? I've said this previously, but when Louisa and I put these together, we also did not know what to do with these. We just thought they sounded like so much fun, and so we wanted to include them. And then when it was time to actually tackle the prompt, we were just as lost as you were. And with some of these, I really thought they were near impossible. But once you sit down and actually think about it and just take one step after the other, you create something magical, and you never thought you could have done it until you've done it. So I love, love, love this quote. This was the page for the magical creature, which was December 13. So I made this envelope that I lined with fabric. I just love how this feels. And then we added this tag with the freebie of Luna. So she's a protector of the forest. And on the back here, I added another comment. This one is by Patty Smith 6047. I agree, this is my biggest growth in design as an artist during Dephemerember. Thank you so much for your inspiration. And then this one is really cute from Canned Mom. Maybe your Effie is a reflection of Louise, who doesn't mind getting ink on her hands. Swapped at birth. LOL. Because in this video, my Effie actually enjoyed getting splatters on him, and I never enjoy getting my hands dirty. You may know that I wear gloves frequently when working with mixed media. Our Effie's were swapped at birth. It just cracks me up so much. Thank you so much for that. And then this here is one of my favorite prompts because it just makes me laugh so much when I look at this sweet lady. And this is not in order now. This was from the prompt for December 21st, Vintage Meets Modern, because I didn't want to add more pages to this because it was getting too bulky. So I decided to make this flip up and add it to this page for Magical Creature. So I created this fun lady using one of Louise's printables. Again, there was a discount for this. I just love how fun she turned out. And then on the top here, we have this cute little king and the quote, "Test your limits." He's also totally adorable. Again, the face is from Louise's printable. Go check them out. They're linked under the prompt, Vintage Meets Modern. So the flap of the envelope was used as a tuck spot here. And this, of course, was mushroom robots. Here is Effie as a mushroom robot helping Luna protect the forest. This was so much fun. And I'm so happy that so many of you loved the stories that went with some of my creations. That just made me so happy because I had so much fun. And so I'm so happy that you also had so much fun with these. Added 3 of your comments here. And so many of you also commented, like Kiwi Yvonne in Oz said, any of these Effie pages would make wonderful illustrations in the book using Barbara's story. So many of you said I should write children's stories, children's books. Thank you so much for that. But it's not what I'm passionate about, and I wouldn't have the time. So I would have to choose between writing children's books or illustrating them or making junk journals and making junk journal videos. And that decision is not a difficult one at all. So I hope you'll be happy to hear I'm going to stick with junk journaling. So this was the prompt for December 18th. Plaid and polka dots, please touch. I love this one so much, not just because actually of the colors. It was totally a different color scheme, but of course because these fabrics were my mom's. So it makes it super special. And maybe you remember, look at this button. So this had a completely different color. I colored it with a Distress Ink dauber. I think it might have been Candied Apple. And it was beautiful when I put it on, but now with time, and you can see the imprint of it here, the color is going away. So if you ever do that, please add some fixative spray on top of your button. Otherwise, you will get something like this. I'm just going to leave it. If it gets worse, I might replace it with a different button. But for now, I'm leaving it. It's a lesson learned. So this card obviously comes out. Love this so much. This is a color combination I would never go for, and I love so much. So something new that I learned, again, during Dephemerember. Added 2 more comments on the back here. This was Nature's Treasures, and you will be pleased to learn that finally the glue here has dried. It took a couple of weeks for sure. I had glue here, and because it is in between 2 layers of cellophane, it just wouldn't dry. I don't know why I didn't just use double-sided tape. No idea. Love how this turned out. Love the grunge. This was, of course, again, another scrap by Louise. And then I had contemplated when I was working on this prompt to add comments here, but then I decided not to because I like the calmness of it. And I think adding writing here would have made it look more busy. But I did add 2 comments on the back. And I love this one, especially from The Whole Bucket 897, saying, nature is my favorite place. Your simple tag and pocket evoke the feeling of being out there. Excellent job. I mean, what could be a bigger compliment than to create a page that makes you feel like you are out there in nature? Thank you so much for that. On the back here, we have the recycled fairy. It makes me laugh because one of you had commented that her belt looks like the belt from Wonder Woman, which is so true. It really cracks me up. Yep, made plenty of mistakes on this one. Learned a lot from this one as well, especially working with foil. Always back your foil with something if you want to cut out and glue shapes. I have 3 comments on the back. And by the way, this was another freebie. We had this version of a forest girl and there was another version. And this page is made from a Tim Holtz fabric. This one is Forgotten Snacks. I'm not in love with how this page looks, but it still makes me smile because of the memory of the Jolly Ranchers. This card was challenging, but I love how it works, and I love that I forgot the G when I stamped Forgotten Snacks. That was one of my oh no moments. So this is an interactive card where you can just move this and reveal another photo. Very, very fun. And in the back here, I also have 2 comments. I'll read you this one here from J. Neelinor. Your attitude is a positive influence on my life, and I'm always so happy to have your videos to look forward to. Thank you for inspiring me to not be afraid to try new things in my creative journey. Even though you don't see me, I feel like I am included in what you do. That's a wonderful gift to have. You don't know what a comment like this means to me. If you have the feeling that we are connected and that you feel included in this community, that really is the best I can ever hope for. And that makes me so happy, and that confirms to me that I'm doing something right. Then we have our page, Me and My Crush, which was the last official prompt, December 28th. I love this page a lot. I did decide to add the unibrow. One of you had said I should have made a unibrow because that was one of the trademarks of Frida. So here you go. Are you happy? So I had this quote here: I create junk journals so memories will never fade. But I also added some of your comments here on the other pages, which were previously blank. And there's 2 I want to read to you. One here is from For Grace Creations. Dephemerember, you and Louise got me out of my comfort zone, inspired me, and gave me the courage to finally start my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for everything. So I have checked out Dawn's YouTube channel. I will link it for you below. So it's called For Grace Creations. Go check it out. And I know there's many other YouTube channels that have been created especially for Dephemerember. So again, a reminder, please go check out the hashtag Dephemerember on YouTube. You will see thousands of videos. It's absolutely amazing. And that is a great way to find new creators that you might enjoy following also for future videos. Another comment I would like to read is one here by Spilled Coffee Crafts. This series made me do so many things in my journal I never tried before, and I think it really kickstarted a new creative phase. That is another one of our hopes for Dephemerember, that you find new inspiration and that you try things that you've never tried before, like we do in our journals as well. Then we have this bookmark, which was for the prompt Spaghetti Box window for December 27th. I just love how this came out. I might be trying that again, although it was a lot of work. This was the envelope that Louise had sent her door in, and with this beautiful card that of course kept. And inside here I added the 2 letters from Effie for the door prompt, explaining how the door prompt works, the one that we had for the opening for December 1st and the one that we had for December 31st, where Louise and I got a different prompt each. And I also kept another comment in here which I thought deserved a whole page. I want to read this to you, and I hope that I will manage without crying. This is from Margaret Comella 3318. Oh my goodness. First thing out of a sound sleep this morning in the States. I'm a mess. You two are beyond description. It's not just a joy to see you together, it's an honor somehow. I don't know why it is, but that's how it feels. Maybe it's simply getting to witness the best of what love can be in this crazy world. Louise, you are an amazing human being. The more I watch you, the more I realize it's no accident that all your good fortune is coming to you. You are a being of light. You are in the flow, if you know what I mean. And this world is lucky to have you. And I'm lucky to have stumbled into this world of junk journaling and your channel. And you're so blessed to have found a crush like Barbara that you can totally trust with your tender heart. Oh my goodness. Again, the two of you together are unstoppable. I hope you continue to collaborate on YouTube for years. You have a spoiled now because there is nothing else like it in this community. Barbara, thank you for trusting your heart and nagging Louise until she agreed to be your friend. Because the first time I ever contacted Louise, she just wouldn't have it. It's a long story. You are equally a joy to watch. Your channel is the first I check on YouTube every day, a few times a day. It's so cute. And get so excited when there's a new video. I know you think Louise's videos should be shorter, but I would love it if yours were longer. I have grown tired of some of the channels I've watched for years because they keep doing the same things over and over. But you and your sister are always fresh. You're always growing and we never know what we're going to learn from you. I love that you share your mistakes with us too. It makes you relatable but also inspiring, helping us to stretch our own boundaries. This is a great example of the good the internet can offer. I am kind of shut in due to health problems. My world is less small than it would be without it. And you two are some of the best I get from it. Thank you for being open, honest, and vulnerable with us. You are both so talented, but as talented as you are, it is still the least of what you bring to the world. It's all so difficult to put into words. Thank you for another fantastic season of Dephemerember. Did I spell it right? Yes, Margaret, you spelled it right. Love you both. This comment is so incredible, Margaret, and it highlights why we do this, especially in December. I want to mention it again. We decided on December, even though we know for a lot of you, this is a stressful month. But it was so much more important for Louise and myself to do this during December because we know that December is a very difficult month for so many of you for so many different reasons. So many of you have commented that this series helps you get through December and it gives you a moment to breathe, to not think about your problems and to be part of this community and to just have fun and create. Thank you, Margaret, so much for your comment. Thank you to all of you for your amazing comments and your support for Dephemerember. Obviously, it would be nothing without you. And so finally, this was the last prompt. So this was Effie's door prompt part 2, where I got the prompt passed and Louise got a different prompt. I made this card symbolizing my own growth during Dephemerember, so a smaller version and a bigger version of myself. The wings symbolizing my growth. And then the quote here saying, artistic growth is not a destination, but a journey of self-discovery, where each page turned is a new chapter of your story, and every found object a reflection of your evolving soul. I added 3 more comments here. And I want to read you this last one by Barbara Hay 6611. What a great idea to go back to a prior prompt and reinterpret it in the light of your creative growth and journey. I love watching how you develop your creative ideas each time you do a new piece of ephemera. So what I chose to do for the past here was to take a prompt from Dephemerember 2022, which was playing card and splatters, and redo it in my current style. And I wanted to read you this comment because that could be more inspiration for you if you've already completed all your Dephemerember 2023 prompts and you're not ready to let go of Dephemerember. If you haven't created the prompts for the 2 previous years, have a look at those playlists. I will link both of those for you below this video as well. But even if you have, do them again this year, because you will obviously do them very differently, and most likely you will see your growth as an artist. And this, of course, is the beautiful door that Louise made for me, which I glued on the wrong side. It should have been here, but now it's here. And it gave me a lot of struggles because it is super bulky. But here on the back inside cover, it works pretty well. So let's move on to the giveaway. So there will be 3 lucky winners, each receiving a unique scrap pack filled with some of my own scraps, perfect for your own journaling adventures. And to the enter giveaway, you simply had to leave a comment below the video for December 28th by January 3rd, sharing how you experienced Dephemerember 2023, which could have been your thoughts on the project, how the videos inspired you, or even your plans for future creations. So let me share what these scrap packs look like. You each get an envelope, this one is upside down, that I have created in a video with my jelly plate. I will link that video for you below. These envelopes are filled with smaller scraps. So inside here is also one of my stickers. And I believe, sorry. There's also one of my business cards in there with my information. And there are random scraps here, some focal points, some die cuts, some negatives of die cuts, lots of fun pieces for you to use. So each of these scrap packs are similar, but obviously not identical. Let me glue this on a little better. I love this heart washi. I got this in the US about 4 years ago. And this is pretty much the last of it. It is adorable. Then you each get one of these envelopes, which I created for Dephemerember 2022. I also made these in a video, so you can find the creation of these in my Dephemerember 2022 playlist, linked below. This is filled with a variety of different things, book page cutouts, other random ephemera like envelopes, vintage ephemera like tickets, cigarette cards, vintage book page images, some of my own stamps, acetate, die cut negatives, all kinds of things, jelly plate prints, more acetate, more jelly prints, packaging, vintage tape measure. And finally, I also wanted to include 2 pages of rub-ons for each of the winners. And these are sponsored by Taperlogy. I want these all to go in one package. So I want to create some fun packaging with you now. So I want to use some used packaging. So I have 1, 2, 3 different papers here, and I just want to kind of have fun and get messy and decorate these papers. So I'm going to start off by adding some gesso using a large brayer. Whoops. Well, I said it was gonna get messy, didn't I? Switching to my smaller brayer, I think that one works better. The large one is great on the big jelly plate, but it looks like the smaller one is better for packaging. So once these are all dry, I'm going to add some stenciling, and I'll start off with this one by Ranger and Diane Reevely. This one is called Coins Large DYS 78012. And I'm going to use Distress Oxide Spray Pumice Stone. And then for this left side, I'm just going to flip this around. Put the negative here. For this next one, I'm going to use this beautiful stencil by PM Artist Studio. It's called Nautilus Stamp Style 1. And I'll use Distress Oxide Spray Speckled Egg. I'll do the same concept. Can't really see the design here. I think I sprayed too much. Yeah, and you also can't see it here, but that's okay. It still makes for an interesting background. And for this last one, I'm going to use this mask. I have no clue where this is from or what it's called. Unfortunately, I've had this for years and years. And I'm going to use Distress Spray Stain Victorian Velvet. So they're all dry, and I love how very different each one of these is already. So to this one, I want to add some stamping using these fun foam stamps. These are also by PM Artist Studio. I will link their website for you below. I want to do the large ones in brushed corduroy, and then the small ones in rusty hinge. So that's number one. I am in love with this already. For this one, I'm going to use this fun bug, also PM Artist Studio, with Distress Ink Uncharted Mariner. And I'll mist it a little bit to give it a more watercolory look. How fun is this? I just love it. And this one here is quite busy. By the way, I got half a bug on here, but I think that's okay. I'm going to use some mica stains. I have Peppermint Stick, Sugary Gumdrop, Cocktail Party, and Fortune Teller. Beautiful colors. Not sure it will calm it down, but let's try. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't think it's going to calm it down, but it'll be fun anyway. Yeah, not calming down really. So this one is a bit crazy. I think you would agree. Let's try adding some water and let them run into each other to make it more homogeneous. Not quite what I had in mind. Let me dry this. So when it's dry, it looks like this, and actually I love it. It has this beautiful shimmer on it. And also the back side is actually super interesting. So I think I'll stick to this as the front. So for this one, I'm going to use this number stamp, also PM Artist Studio. And I'm going to add some acrylic paint with my brayer. Beautiful contrast, love that. So this one is done, super fun as well. Going back to this one, I think it requires gold splatters in Van Gogh Deep Gold 803. And I think this one here requires some faux handwriting. I have these tubes that I just filled with acrylic paint. I don't know what these are called. If anyone knows, please put it in the comments below, because I'm sure there will be questions about this. So it's a super thin tip and you can just write with it. It's absolutely fabulous. I found mine at Bösner, a German art store. Hopefully not ruin this now by just adding some faux handwriting here. And I also just decided that they all need gold splatters, because how can I send you something without gold splatters? You wouldn't believe it's from me. So these have all dried, and I just love how different each one of these is. So let's see how we can wrap our goodies inside. So let's turn this around. And I want to add this, I think like this, so that it stays as flat as possible. And I'll fold this in half. I'll fold this up and I'll sew right through here. And I think I'll also sew here and then maybe tear some of this off. And then I'll think about what to do with the top. So I've sewn here and I've decided to just fold this piece over, and then I sewed it there. And I want the top to remain open. So we have our scraps in there already. I'm just going to fold this down, and then I'm going to add a closure with this button. And then underneath I'll put some lace and some black thread. And then I'll sew that button onto just this one side. And then I'll add this beautiful twine here to actually make it closed. And I'll glue a piece of cardstock underneath here so that it won't tear when I sew in the button. And by the way, this beautiful special button is from Louise's stash. So you get something from Louise with these packs as well. And Louise, of course, has her own giveaway, so be sure to check those out as well. And of course, she will also be sharing a flip through of her beautiful journal. I'm sure she's added some things as well, so definitely worth watching. And I'm also very, very interested in seeing how she packaged her scraps. So this is number one finished, and I'll do it in a similar way for the other two. So here are the finished 3 packages. These 2 buttons are also from Louise's stash, so all 3 of you get a piece of Louise and myself. So finally, let's see who the 3 lucky winners of my giveaway are. So I'm using this free random comment picker tool. I am pasting in the URL of the video of December 28th where you added your comments. So get a random comment. Winner number 1 is, so we had over 600 comments. The first winner is Barbara Ciarto 4003. Exceptional videos that inspired me to escape with Effie into an imaginary world filled with little beings through art. The fascinating papers provided by you and Louise for Dephemerember transported me into other realms through art. I learned a lot about creating exciting backgrounds. This was my first Dephemerember. Thank you so much, Barbara. You are winner number 1. Let's get comment number 2 for the second winner. 23 Lavender Cats. Thank you for co-hosting this year's Dephemerember. You are so inspirational and I love your style. I can't wait for next year. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for your message, but I'm sorry to say I cannot give you the second prize because you did not answer the question. So the question was to give me feedback on your experience with Dephemerember. This is unfortunately not it. I am so sorry, but I think it would be unfair to the other viewers who have answered the questions if I would choose this one. I'm so sorry. So let's try another comment. It's a German name, Marina Friedrich 8592. I will first read it in German and then translate to English. Liebe Barbara, möchte ich auf diesem Wege Dankeschön sagen für die Inspiration und die gute Laune, die du in deinen Videos verbreitest und auch für deine tollen Freebies. Im letzten Video erzählst du uns von Frida Kahlo. Ich hatte noch nie von ihr gehört. Bildungslücke? Das ist das Schöne, man lernt immer noch etwas dazu. Habe einen tollen Jahreswechsel. Die Dezember-Aktion war wieder super gelungen. Bleib gesund. So let me translate this into English. Dear Barbara, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for the inspiration and the good mood that you spread in your videos and also for your great freebies. In the last video, you tell us about Frida Kahlo. I have never heard of her. Education gap? That's the nice thing. You're still learning something new. Have a great new year. The December daily was once again a great success. Stay healthy. Thank you so much, Marina. Vielen Dank, Marina. But again, I have to say it's not an answer to my question. I feel so bad. I just checked again the exact wording of my question. Leave a comment sharing how you experienced Dephemerember 2023. It could be your thoughts on the projects, how the video inspired you, or even your plans for future creations. And unfortunately, I see none of that in this reply, in this comment, even though it's a very kind comment. Also liebe Marina, es tut mir wahnsinnig leid, aber du hast meine Frage meiner Meinung nach nicht beantwortet, obwohl dein Kommentar wirklich sehr lieb ist und es tut mir wahnsinnig leid, aber ich kann dich nicht als Gewinnerin nehmen, weil es einfach unfair ist gegenüber den anderen. So I'm super sorry. We have to get another comment. Deborah Olm 7104. My fave 2023 Dephemerember Flicks series, December 28th. Loved the homage to Frida. My daughter as an actress breathes Frida. I've learned to love her as well. Again, thank you so much, Deborah. Beautiful comment, but not an answer to my question. I am so sorry. Let's get another comment. User FR6UU7MR3J. I'm so very inspired by both you and Louise. Being so busy in December with the holidays, I am way behind on all my prompts, but I am charging on and will hopefully finish by the end of January. Thank you for your videos. I found you earlier this year and I'm just starting out in my junk journal journey. Yes, thank you. This is a reply I can count. So thank you so much for that. Unfortunately, I don't have your name. Okay, we have one more to go. So I want to know about your personal experience. Bernice Chiniborch. I don't think I've pronounced that correctly. 2600. I have enjoyed all of the Dephemerember videos from all the years. I found some of the prompts this year very difficult, but managed to do quite a few. Thank you for all your hard work. Yes, Bernice, thank you. That is a valid answer to my question. So finally, we have 3 winners. Yay! So if you are one of the lucky winners, please send me an email to 49dragonflies@gmail.com. You can also find this in the description box below so I can make sure that you get your prize. Thank you so much for everyone for participating. Thank you so much, Louise, for being my partner in crime again. I think we're all winners because we're part of this amazing community. I hope you had fun with Dephemerember. I hope you will still have fun if you're not done yet. Again, it's not a race. You do these whatever time works for you. Thank you so much to everybody. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.